So it feels like it was just yesterday when we ended up getting a phone in 2019 that I genuinely thought we would never see ever again. And I don't think there's ever going to be a phone that's going to be as crazy or maybe as impactful as this one, at least for the last few years. Now, the 2017 iPhone X kind of gives the Galaxy S10 a little bit of a run for its money, but the Samsung Galaxy S10 by far is probably one of my most favorite phones of all time, and it's probably one of those devices that's going to hold the test of time for so many years to come. In fact, I remember when the Galaxy S8 came out, and a lot of people even up until this year kind of still state that if Samsung were to just refresh the internals, people would probably still end up buying something like a Galaxy S8. And I feel the same way with the Galaxy S10, and quite potentially even like 5 years from now, people will still look at a Galaxy S10 and be like, wow, if this one just had the Snapdragon 8 Gen 7 chipset, whatever the chipset is at that moment, that people will still end up buying it. Now, the first thing, the display on the Galaxy S10 was beautiful. It was a dynamic AMOLED display. It was probably one of the biggest jumps we've seen from one panel to the other, from the S9 to the S10. It had that hole punch display. And going forward, since this phone's released in 2019, a lot of phones still look like this. How many phones can you say that from the last 4 to 5 years that a lot of phones still look like it? I mean, it's pretty crazy. A phone like the Pixel 4 that came out that same year doesn't really look that new. The same thing could be said about the iPhone 11. The Galaxy S10 definitely stands on its own, and I'm a humongous fan of the way Samsung approached this display. But on top of that, this phone had a headphone jack, had a micro SD card slot, and it had a USB-C port that at that time had Samsung DeX and still has it. And that is some really cool stuff that a lot of phones still don't have. We no longer have pretty much a headphone jack or micro SD card slot on any phones, but we did have it on the Galaxy S10, which again is a beautiful thing that Samsung was able to do. And that kind of stuff future-proofs this phone like crazy. Now, we get the camera setup, triple camera setup, which was also very beautiful. And that kind of stuff handles this, type of device beautifully in and of itself, which is another really cool thing. But ultimately, the only thing that's even kind of outdated with this phone, maybe the chipset a little bit, but it's mostly the software. It didn't get the next version of software, and that is really where this phone kind of starts losing a little bit of its edge at. But I look at the hardware of this phone, and I look at what Samsung did, even is doing now with the Galaxy S23, and I'm just very, very happy with the way Samsung approached the Galaxy S10. I'm still a massive fan of this phone, and I don't really think we're ever going to really see a phone like this ever again, which is kind of sad. In terms of that kind of covers it up. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.